Hi guys, 18dap here and welcome to the latest matchday preview on the channel. It's for this weekend's fixture in League 2. It's Doncaster Rovers versus Port Vale. Let's get the video started. So guys, welcome back to match previews after the festive football fixtures and that bumper one before the 4 games in a couple of weeks. So yeah, back to normal now, previews before league games and hopefully more content in 2025. It started well for Doncaster Rovers, but onto this one, Port Vale at home. If you're an existing subscriber, thank you so much for supporting the channel and continuing to do so. I will try and provide as much content going forward for you as possible. And if you like this sort of stuff, please consider clicking subscribe if you haven't already. If this is the first video that brought you to the channel, this is the format that we go through match previews. We look at previous meetings between the two clubs, current form across all competitions for both teams. I choose a Doncaster Rovers player to say a few words about, and then I choose the opponent's one to watch. But as I always say, you know your club much better than I do, so if there's somebody else that should be part of the conversation at that point, get them in the comments down below. And then we finish the video off with 3 predictions. Predicted team lineup thanks to FanHub. The predictions league table, there's a big update on that after the festive football fixtures, and then the all important score prediction at the very end. So without further ado, let's get into previous meetings. Donny and Port Vale have faced off a total of 54 times in our history, and it's relatively even. Port Vale just edging it with 24 wins out of those 54, Rovers with 21, and we've drawn 9, so don't expect a draw tomorrow. Drilling down into the more recent 5, we have to go back to 2015-16 season in League 1, where Port Vale certainly had our number with a 3-0 win and a 2-1 win in both of the games in that season. And then in 2016 it was only a league trophy fixture between the two, which finished 0-0. And then earlier this season we've already played each other twice, once in the league, once in the league trophy. We won 3-2 at Vale Park, but lost 1-0 at home early December in the league trophy. So bit hit and miss. Obviously Port Vale 3 wins out of the last 5 meetings, 1 draw, 1 win. Hopefully we can make that 2 wins come 5 o'clock tomorrow. Current form does probably lean towards Donny in this one, which is not normally a good thing when it's in our favour, but hopefully it is tomorrow. It's still kind of hit and miss though. Looking at Donny's last 5, a defeat, a win, a defeat, a draw and a win, so lacking consistency there. But Port Vale winless in their last 5 on the screen, 2 draws, 2 defeats and a draw is their run into this fixture. But yeah, Port Vale really off the boil at the moment. Only 2 wins in their last 10 games across all competitions. One of those in the league against Morecambe, and then the other one, which I just mentioned, in the Football League Trophy at the Eco Power Stadium. So that doesn't bode well, does it? But both were 1-0 scoreline. So if we can get on the score sheet, we've got a good chance of getting something in this one, because goals are currently very hard to come by for Port Vale, with only 1 scored in their last 5. And the difficulty for Donny, saying we just need to get that goal and we should be able to get something from this game, other than Port Vale's recent games against Bradford and Grimsby, where they conceded 5 across those 2 games, 2-1 against Bradford, 3-0 against Grimsby. They've looked defensively solid with 3 0-0 draws in the last 5 games. So defensively solid, not scoring. It's not the greatest combination, but if we can break that defence, we've got a good chance of getting something in this one. For Donny though, we achieved 7 points out of 12, which I predicted over the festive period, where we faced Tranmere, Walsall, Colchester and Fleetwood most recently. We were very fortunate to get 7 points though. It was very late on against Fleetwood that we managed to snatch the 3 points, where probably a draw would have been fair, I think, on reflection, to a game lacking quality in both halves in my opinion. But we managed to edge it, the 2 bits of quality that there was, we got goals from, and a mistake led to their goal as well. So yeah, not the greatest spectacle to watch, where League 2 sometimes is quite exciting. That one won't be one of the more memorable games, we'll say that. Donny, we have been hit and miss at the moment, but I think we're still in a very good position coming into January, in the top 3. Can't grumble at that surely, especially when you look back 12 months ago where we were. So hopefully a good January, couple of additions in key parts of the pitch, and we should push on. We've got the quality within the squad. There's still plenty of football to be played. I'm not disagreeing that improvements need to be made in terms of performance and results, a bit more consistency, and we will be fine. We've got enough quality in the squad, I do believe that. But what I don't want to be doing is at the end of the season looking back and thinking, if we'd have got a point in that game or held on to the win in that game, got 3 points in that game, it'd be a different story. I don't want to be in that position, so it'd be nice to get it done and dusted as soon as possible. Like I say, I think we've got the quality in the squad. It's just getting the shape right, the tactics, the personnel, whatever it is. It just needs to click and get that consistency going. Hopefully 2 wins on the bounce come 5 o'clock tomorrow. On to player profile, a player which I think could help us get the 2 wins on the bounce is Luke Molyneux, our right winger, 26 years old. A decent start to the season for Luke, which started very, very strong, but it has tailed off a little. But I think the rest of the squad's performance has tailed off a little, but we're getting points. I'm trying not to grumble too much because we're getting points and we're in a good position. I just think maybe teams are a little bit wiser to our setup and how we play. Maybe a little bit one-dimensional. We need to mix it up a little bit. Luke's getting 2 men on him all the time, so there should be a free man. We should be able to pull them around a little bit more. So I just think we need to be a little bit more inventive, get Luke on the ball one-on-one against players, and he'll beat most of League Two's left backs, I believe. He's always there. He's always providing a threat. He can come up with that little bit of magic that can win a game as well. He scored 2 in the return fixture against Port Vale, so it'd be great to see him start hitting that early season form once again against Port Vale. But yeah, I think if Luke Molyneux plays well, Doncaster Rovers play well. So it's about getting him on the ball in good positions, in positions where he can hurt teams, and I think we'll be fine. On to the opponents, one to watch. So as I said at the start of the video, you know your club much better than I do if you're a Port Vale fan watching. So if you don't believe this individual should be mentioned, get your thoughts in the comments down below. But I did mention him in the previous preview against Port Vale because I do like him. Very, very good striker. It is Jayden Stockley. He's 31 years old, centre forward, and it is a typical big target man centre forward. 500 career appearances, majority of that across the EFL. 135 goals, 50 assists. He's got 4 goals, 4 assists this season. As I say, goals, they're not freely come by for Port Vale, but I think Jayden just kind of provides that target and that kind of man to hit in the box. He came on when we were winning at Port Vale. He just is an absolute menace. He just causes havoc in the box. He won Port Vale a penalty, got them back into the game, and yeah, he just is a handful for defenders. So I'm assuming it'll be Joe and Jay as the centre back pairing once again. They'll have their hands full if Jayden Stockley starts. So for me, one to watch, Jayden Stockley tomorrow. And that takes me on to the predicted team lineup. You already know my centre back pairing. This is thanks to FanUp. If you've not downloaded the app yet, please go ahead and do so. But this is what I'm going with for tomorrow's fixture. Teddy Sharman-Lowe in goal, Sterry at right back, Oluwu and McGrath as the centre back pairing, Maxwell at left back. Thought he had a decent game against Fleetwood. I've only made one change really from Fleetwood here. Bailey and Broadbent in the midfield with Sabara. I'd like to see him start, give him an opportunity. I think he could get at players a little bit. Molyneux on the right, Hurst on the left, and Ironside up front on his own. Obviously, in between recording and this going live, there may be an additional person in there. I don't know who it is. I don't know when they'll come. But Grant McCann's saying that there's deals are pretty much wrapped, sealed, signed, delivered. We will see if they are, but that's the predicted lineup that I'm going with. I've not got an 11 out of 11 yet this season. I don't think I'll start tomorrow either. On to the predictions league table. So if you're new to this, me and the family predict the scoreline for every single league game. If we get the scoreline right, we get 3 points. If we get the outcome of the game right, but not the scoreline, it's 1 point. Completely wrong. It's no points. And there was positions won, positions lost over the festive football fixtures. So Chris remains top. Well, no change in the table after the 4 fixtures, but it is very, very tight. As you can see, Chris remains top on 17 points. He gained 2 points over the 4 games. Me and Max won 4 points each over the festive fixtures, so we're both on 17 as well, so all joint first. My dad won 3 points over the 4 games, so that pulled him up a position, but then he lost it against Fleetwood, with Max getting his 3 points there with a 2-1 prediction. So my dad's in 4th on 14 points, but only 3 points behind the rest of us, so it's extremely tight going into the second half of the season. And that takes me on to the score prediction, the all-important score prediction that everybody comes here for. Get your score predictions in the comments down below, but I'm hoping it's a good time to hit Port Vale. The form is not very good. They're struggling to score goals. I think if we can break them down, get that goal, I think we'll get the 3 points. I'm going confident in getting the 3 points. I'm going Doncaster Rovers 2, Port Vale 0. Let me know yours in the comments down below, and that's where I'm going to leave this one. Big thumbs up if you have enjoyed it. As I say, comments in the section down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.